Tyson Fury is facing Oleksandr Usyk next to become the undisputed heavyweight champion, and Joe Rogan has his own thoughts on the fight. Lennox Lewis made an interesting comparison when he called Tyson a giraffe and Usyk a bunny, and he stated you got a giraffe against a bunny rabbit, so anything can happen in that fight. The bunny rabbit has won a lot of fights. He's won a lot of fights with his style, and you know he's an undisputed champion as well, and he does anything possible to win. So he's going into this fight looking to win. Sometimes bunny rabbits win. Carl Fr really thinks that Usyk is too good for Tyson, and he really believes this after seeing how Tyson fought against Francis Ngannou.
And I think Usyk's going to beat Fury. I just think it's close, it's tight. With the way Fury struggled against Ngannou, I just think it's a tough fight for Fury to win. Because Oleksandr Usyk doesn't know how to lose. He's so good, such a top amateur, great cruiserweight, pro, beat everybody, and now he's a heavyweight champion. He's got 2 wins over Anthony Joshua, and he's getting bigger. He's growing into the weight, and I just think that he's probably going to beat Tyson.
Zilgsang believes that the key is going to be how both fighters train in their camps, and if they take this fight seriously. Jen stated, I think it all depends on what kind of training camp they had and what kind of preparation both fighters do in their training camps. If Tyson Fury fights the same way and prepares the same way he did for Francis Ngannou last October, I think it's going to be a long night for Tyson. But if he trains hard and takes care of his life and takes care of his routine, I think he's got it. He's taller, his reach is longer, and he's more flexible. I just do believe he has so many physical advantages over Oleksandr Usyk, so I think in a perfect world, I'm leaning for Tyson Fury to get the victory. Josh Warrington thinks that this is going to be a clash of styles, and he thinks that Usyk is just too good for Tyson. Josh stated it's a clash of styles. There's not many fighters who stand nearly 7 feet tall who can move the way Tyson Fury does. With that being said, the Francis Ngannou fight has done him no credit whatsoever. He didn't look the same. He didn't look like Tyson Fury of old. I know IK is a hell of a boxer. He's got so many skills, so I've sat on the fence a few times. I've kind of leaned toward Fury a couple of times, but at this moment in time, I'm leaning toward Usyk. The size difference isn't that big, and I feel that Usyk's boxing skills and defense are just going to be too much. Moses Saddam has gotten to spend some time in the ring with Tyson while he trains for Usyk, and he has his own opinion on what it's like and who will win.
Do you know what it is? See, when you're in the ring with Fury, you know you're in with a world-class fighter. When you're sparring some boys and they're just English class or they're European class, and then you got someone that's like, you just feel like it's from a different planet. That's what Fury's like a little bit. Like, for a big guy, man, I ain't got a clue how he moves so well. His engine and also his hand speed is nice, out of this world, 100%.
You're in a very beneficial position, and a lot of boxing fans and analysts would love to be in your position to see Tyson Fury in this camp because he's been very quiet. How is he looking ahead of the Oleksandr Usyk fight, and how do you think that fight goes in your opinion?
I'm not going to say nothing. I'm confident he's going to win. Yeah, we're just gonna.
Francis Ngannou also thinks that Tyson will win, and he hopes that he does so he can get his rematch. Francis stated, if I'm objective, I will say Tyson Fury. Speaking for myself, I will still say Tyson Fury. Obviously, I'm not counting us out. I know he can win in this fight. He has a very good chance, maybe even, but I still go for Tyson, and I still want him to win to see him for that rematch. Sean Porter actually doesn't think that the fight is going to happen, and he sees this as one of Tyson Fury's final fights if it does end up happening. Scene stated, what we know about Tyson Fury is that he's a showman. What we know about Tyson Fury is he likes things to be his way or no way. Me personally, I don't feel like this is the kind of energy he wants to exert in anymore in the boxing ring, which is why he went after Francis Ngannou. Those are the kind of fights he's looking for, things that are going to give him the money and the recognition and the nights that he won't have to trade hard for. Don't be surprised if something comes up with the WWE before this. I think that there's a lot of pluses for Tyson Fury, but I just don't see him being able to look at those pluses and feel like, hey, I'm going to win that fight, I'm going to beat him. If he does get in the ring with him, I expect him to win that fight and sail off into the sunset. I think that will be the last one for him if he has that fight. Billy Nelson thinks that Tyson is just too skilled for Usyk.
Fury will stop him. Early, late, or later, because he's very, very clever. Usyk, very clever. But Tyson Fury has got a fantastic IQ boxing, and I think he'll suss him. He'll close the distance down, and he won't let him off the ropes as easy as, for talking's sake, Anthony Joshua's done for 30.
Alexander's promoter definitely thinks that Tyson is a completely different character inside the ring, but he believes that either of them could come away with the win. He stated that the good thing is that Alexander is not a native speaker of English, so he doesn't understand much of it. Tyson turns into a different character when the camera turns on, but Tyson is a student of boxing, and he knows what type of fight he has ahead of him, and we treat him with respect. When he had the face-off before the press conference, Tyson showed a lot of respect to Usyk, and he said a lot of things that made me like a lot about him. He was saying it's down to God who wins. No matter how hard you work, there's only one winner, and anything can happen. I agree with him, but to rely on God, you have to work hard. Anthony Joshua is excited about the fight, and he thinks that both fighters are top tier. Anthony stated, you've probably heard it a few times, but I think Usyk is a phenomenal fighter, and he's got a great team around him. You're only as good as your team, and he's got a really good team. And having been in the ring with him and studying him, I think he's the one to edge it, probably because of my experience with his ring craft. I think it's top tier. Sergio Mora definitely thinks that Tyson is the favorite going into this fight though, and he stated that I'm going to favor Tyson Fury. It's not off their last performance, it's going to be out of styles making fights, but size is something as well, and the size difference is going to be way too big. If Fury were a stationary target, then I'd favor Usyk. I think he's brilliant, but the fact that Tyson Fury is so good with his upper body foot feints, moving around, mauling opponents, clinching, backing up, he has all the intangibles of a big man. Size matters, and no matter how great you are as a boxer, will trump all that. Joe Rogan is a huge fan of this fight, and he thinks that Tyson Fury is going to dominate.
My God, that's going to be amazing. I just don't know if Usyk has the size to deal with that guy. It's going to be interesting to see what strategy he employs, whether or not he can avoid the big bombs and the reach and the length.
Joe definitely pays credit to both men for playing to their strengths, though.
And I bet you'll see an entirely different Tyson Fury in this next fight. In this next fight, you will see a focused assassin.
Yes.
But he's fighting the craftiest heavyweight maybe of all time.
Yeah.
Usyk is so slick. So he's got just unbelievable movement. His angles, the way he boxes, his fucking feints and movement, total next level.
Yeah.
So there's money in that fight, and I would hope that the winner of that fight then fights Francis. Whether Usyk would want to fight Francis, who knows? But if Usyk wins, if he beats Tyson Fury, that's, pretty incredible.
That's the date for the fight.
February 17th in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia going crazy.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a very, very interesting fight.
Yes.
And although Usyk is smaller, man, that guy is so skilled.
Yeah.
Those Anthony Joshua fights were insane.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.